So if you go to a fish market on the shores of Lake Victoria at dawn, you can see the region's blue economy in motion long before any strategy kicks in. Small boats, plastic buckets, nets patched a dozen times over, and families whose income rises and falls with every catch. Those people are now, at least on paper, part of a 10-year plan. The East African community has adopted a regional blue economy strategy and action plan that runs from 2025 to 2034. It was drafted with the support from the UN Economic Commission for Africa and lines up with the African Union's broader push to treat oceans, seas, lakes, rivers as economic assets. And the scope is really big. It covers fisheries and aquaculture in shared waters like Lake Victoria and Tanganyika. And it talks about modernizing ports and shipping routes on the Indian Ocean and inland waterways so that trade moves faster. It includes offshore energy, tourism, environmental protections for mangroves and wetlands, and climate resilience along vulnerable coastlines. Member states are Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, who are supposed to coordinate their policies instead of pulling it in different directions. The plan also explicitly mentions making space for youth and women in new maritime industries, at least in principle. And the pressure is trying to manage all of that. The pressures of trying to manage all of that is real. So overfishing, pollution, and unregulated sand mining are already hitting fish stocks. Ports are congested, rising waters and extreme weather events linked to climate change are eating away at shorelines and displacing communities. On the diplomatic front, the new strategy gives governments a common language to use with donors and investors who want to fund big infrastructure or conservation projects. It says we have a framework, we have priorities, we're not just improvising. But life along the waterline tends to be decided less by strategy documents and more by who actually gets enforced and who gets a license and who gets pushed out when industrial trawlers or new port terminals arrive. So the next decade will show whether this blue economy plan becomes something people can feel: cleaner water, more predictable livelihoods, better managed resources, or stays a set of PowerPoint slides that never quite break through the bureaucracy. If you believe independent journalism like this matters, consider supporting the show through Patreon or a YouTube membership with added perks. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us keep telling the stories that go far beyond the headlines and bringing valuable information to the masses. We don't have big donors or sponsors. We are truly building this pure and from the ground up. If you've gotten something out of these videos, please consider becoming a supporter today and be sure to follow the show so that you don't miss any new updates.